Hello, Manish.
Hi, how are you?
I am very good. Yourself?
I'm okay.
Okay, fantastic. Who is calling me? Okay, Ruth is calling me. Okay. Hello, Ruth. Hello.
I'm just going to check in with the granddaughter to the others. So I'll be online with you in about 2 minutes.
2 minutes. Okay. All right, we're waiting for you then.
Oh, let me just ring you. Let you know, yeah. So I'm just all the grandchildren are meeting up, so I'm just going from one house to the next.
Okay.
The traffic was a bit heavier than normal. I'll see you in a minute.
Okay. All right. Okay. See you soon.
Right, bye.
Bye. Okay. Ruth is joining us in 2 minutes. Let me check with okay, let me check with Omalayo, I think. Hello, Omalayo. I'm just about to send you a message if you can hear me. Uh, Ruth, Ruth is joining us in 2 minutes. So, um, yeah, so because I've had a session with Ruth on this session, so I might as well I'll start to share my idea as to the reason for this accountability pod. Um, you
Can you
read
hear me?
the,
Good afternoon. Can you hear me?
yeah, we can hear you, Amalayan.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
You okay?
Yes, I'm good. Thank you. I'm good.
Okay. So, I've had a session with Ruth earlier today about what we're doing today. The goal of this session is to establish a process. Um, and that process is to pair people up and uh, there will be a point. It's not necessarily accountability partnership, but it's more like a thinking partner. The thinking partner part of it is structured. So what I want to share today through demonstration with Ruth is how does the process actually work? Because the easy thing to do is just to hand you the process and ask you to figure it out. That may be abstract, but if we demonstrate it and then you go away and try your hands on it, then you realize the power of that process. Um, why did I actually put this together is to, okay, Omla, I think your twin sister is joining us.
No, I'm trying to join using the laptop. Progress.
Okay. Hmm. So, Omla, when you're ready, let me know.
Okay, I'm here now. Yes. Oh,
Okay.
take that look
Right.
off.
Okay, cool. That's a nice background.
That's Sagam Union logo. I need to take it.
Okay. Oh, all right. Okay, that's cool. So this process is very powerful. When you start using it, if you follow the instruction, you realize the power of it. The reason is we sometimes don't have process for our thinking, and sometimes when we think on our own, uh, it's challenging to, I think it's Albert Einstein said you can't solve a problem with the same mind that created the problem. So this is where coaching is very powerful, but it's impossible for me to coach everyone, even if they can afford to pay for it. So this process is like if we implement it very well, it's not a replacement for coaching, but it's close. And the additional advantage is because we're gonna be in pairs. When we've gone through this thinking process, we're gonna come to action plans. Yeah. So
Yeah.
those action plans, then you go away and implement it. So your accountability partner knows what your action plans are, and then the next time you meet, we'll ask you, okay, you're gonna be making 20 calls last week. Have you done it? Okay, the power behind this is we're quick to disappoint ourselves, but we don't want to disappoint other people. That is why accountability partnership works. So if we combine the thinking session with the accountability part, I want to see the progress in the next 3 months, and I want us to review. I'm sure 100% if we implement it well, uh, we'll get significant result from it. So, which is why, I said in the message I sent earlier that this requires commitment. This is not something you show up for today and you don't show up tomorrow, it's not gonna work. So if we pair people together, it's their responsibility to organize their own session. You can even organize ad hoc session. Maybe you have a problem to solve and you say, okay, I'll call my accountability partner to help me through the thinking process. And then the thinking process will lead to the solution. And then you then implement the solution. And then the accountability partner will hold you accountable for that solution, for the action plan. Are we clear on that? Okay. Ruth, welcome. So
Um,
I've had a session with
yeah.
Ruth earlier to I don't want it to be raw. I want this part, the demonstration, to be uh as polished as possible, but also being real. So I've had a quick session with Ruth to establish that. So we're gonna go through the demonstration. So what is involved before we even do the demonstration is um, when 2 or 3 people are gathered together, God is there. It's not God from heaven coming down, it's energy. Is that energy produces miracles. Yeah. So the point of having a partner, the partner will not do much other than ask you question and then listen to you. It's the listening and the attention that generates the energy. Do you understand that? It is the listening of the other person that generates the energy that help you come to the solution. The partner will not come to the solution for you. You come to the solution yourself, but you get the energy of that partner listening to you to find the solution from your own mind. And then the process of asking the questions will get you to that solution. Yeah. So even if you don't reach the solution at the first session, you may try another session. The whole of the session is no more than 15 minutes. Okay. So, but it is structured. Um, so after the session, I'm gonna share this process with you guys step by step, so that the first 2 or 3 rounds you follow the process by looking at it. After that, you know it by heart, you know it offhand, and you can just implement it. The good thing about this is if you learn this and you're able to implement it where you can actually help other people with it. So, all right. Ruth, are you ready?
Yeah. I'm going to take it in the car because it's going to be quieter than if I go upstairs.
Okay, are you
Can you hear me all
outside?
right?
Are you outside?
Yeah.
Okay, so do you want to go inside?
Is that okay? Will it record all right outside?
Okay. It,
No, I'm going to do it outside because it's going to be quieter than going upstairs.
okay. I think your internet is a little bit, we can hear you, but it looks like your internet is not that great.
Okay, I was using the stuff from in the car. I mean, if you want me to go inside, you have to give me a minute then to go. But I was going to take the call in the car because it'll be quieter. But I could go upstairs if you want, and then we do it that way.
No, let's do it here. If the internet is
Right.
not cooperating, then you may then go upstairs because you may get
Okay
distracted
then.
upstairs. Okay, all right.
Well, that's the reason why I thought let me do it here. That's okay.
Okay. So, how does this work? We call it one-to-one thinking partnership structure. So, the beginning is I'll run through the whole process. The beginning is we set the frame. So we invite the thinker to share what do you want to think about today? Yeah. So this could be something relating
Hmm?
to your business, maybe the plan that you have, or maybe certain challenges with clients, or whatever that is you want to think about. Um, it's down to you. The partner will just ask you, what do you want to think about today? Yeah. So, so the next thing is you then say, okay, I want to think about maybe getting more clients. Yeah. So then the partner will ask you, oh, what will it look like after you've achieved that? So that's the clarity question. What will it look like after you've achieved that? Okay, maybe I will have 10 more clients. Yeah. Okay. So now you establish that that is written down. Then you now give the thinker, you are the listener, the other party is the listener. You give the thinker the time to think about uh, that particular challenge. Yeah, your role as the listener is to just offer attention. Yeah, you offer the thinker the attention. Sometimes they will pause their thinking. So don't jump in. Yeah, don't offer advice. Your mind might be screaming, oh, this is so easy. Why can't you see this? Yeah. No. Keep your mouth shut. Don't say that. Just listen to them. They will come to the answer at some point. Yeah. So after a while, because this is timed, so between give them 5 to 7 minutes, and they said, okay, I can't think of anything more. Yeah. So you just gently ask them, what more do you think or feel or want to say? Yeah. Um, that may kickstart another round of thinking for them. Yeah. So when they say they are done, it doesn't necessarily mean that they are done. If they haven't come to a solid conclusion. So it is up to them. If they say, no, I'm done, I'm finally done, then we move to the next stage. Okay? So after they've finished that part, now we're looking for assumptions. So there are assumptions. Everything we do, we make assumptions about them. Yeah? And uh, people are stuck at any level based on their assumptions. And some of these assumptions may be unconscious. So it's unconscious because you're not aware of it, but you're making those assumptions anyway. So the question to ask is, most of the assumptions are what I call self-evaluation limiting beliefs. So example of self-evaluation limiting belief may be, I'm not good enough, or um, it's good for other people, but not for me. Yeah. Or it's too big, or I'm too old, or my parents didn't teach me, or it's down to my childhood. So you're looking for assumptions that are not necessarily true. But if that's the assumption and they believe it, it's the assumption. They will live by that assumption. Yeah, even if it is obvious to other people that those assumptions are wrong, they will still live by that assumption because they don't know any better. So your role is to ask the question. Okay, for instance, the getting clients assumption, maybe the assumption is I'm not good at making calls, yeah, or I don't like selling, or I'm not good at selling. The question you ask them is, what are you assuming about this problem that is holding you back? What are you assuming about this problem that is holding you back? Um, that will kickstart their thinking again. So now they are thinking about our self-evaluation assumptions. Don't let them think outside. Don't let them think external. Let them think internal, because that's where the solution is. For instance, external is, oh, there's no money, there's no time, people will not buy, economy is bad. All of that is outside. There are things that you can't control. You can influence them, but you can't control them. It's what you can control is your attitude, and what you can control is your thinking. What you can control is your behaviors and your actions and your belief systems. Yeah. So now you let them state those assumptions. You see it in play when we do the demo. Let's say the assumption is I'm not good enough. Yeah. So the question that will break through that is, if you knew you were good enough, what would you do in this situation? If you knew that you were good enough, what would you do in this situation? People will give you loads and loads of things they can do. Yeah? So you now ask them, what belief would you rewrite to move forward? So what belief would you rewrite to move forward? some of the assumptions they've listed, the belief they need to rewrite is in there. So they rewrite that belief and then they now create the action plan from that. So if you knew you were good enough, what would you do? So those are your action plan. So that's what your partner will hold you accountable for at your next session. Yeah. So at the end of the session, the thinker will now reflect on insights they identify during that session, and the partner will also affirm the quality they've noticed during the session. Okay? So there's no criticism, there is no I think this point is for you to acknowledge the transparency and the honesty of the partner. Yeah. So, so that's the process, and then you now turn it around and do it for the other person. Okay? Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Can we unmute and speak?
Yeah.
I would add,
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
not lucky.
Yeah, it makes sense. Okay.
Okay. So, any question on that?
I
One
think
question, please.
Okay.
Yes, it does make sense.
Mhm.
But is there a template that we would be looking at to ask this question?
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't want to share it because it will bias your mind.
Okay.
Yeah, so I want to explain it. If you read it before, then you questions will be going on in your mind as I'm explaining it. But because you haven't seen it, so you're completely blank and you can absorb what it is. So now when you see it, you have more insight as to, oh, this is the structure. So yeah. Any other question before we do the demo? Okay, excellent. So, Ruth, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, cool. So, I'm your accountability partner for today. So, I am the listener. So, I would ask you the question. So let's assume we've done pleasantries. Oh, how was your day? Blah, blah, blah. So we've got out of the way. Shouldn't take more than 1 minute. So now I ask you, yeah, Ruth, today is our accountability thinking session. So today I'm gonna be your listener and you'll be the thinker. So what do you want to think about today?
Okay. So I want to think about in September, I'm going to be launching a 90-day program for educators to improve their well-being and leadership skills. And I want to think about the steps I need to put in place before I launch this event.
Okay, that's very good. Now, let's assume this event is successful. Uh, what will it look like if you've achieved your goals regarding this project? What will it look like? What will success look like?
Oh, success would look like, so I want to have about between 12 and 15 people in the pilot program I'm doing initially, because it's like going to be the first time round so that I can get them to give me a referral and a testimonial, and we just iron out. There might be things that they may come up with that will help in terms of the program that I might not see or might not know. So the first thing would be to have the 12 to 15 people on the program. I think the next thing that it would look like would be they would be raving about the benefit they got from being on the program, that they'll be then able to go back to their schools and their communities. And like these will be like individuals or maybe two staff, maybe from their particular school, but they'll be going back raving so that I will then be able to come and take the similar version of this into a school so that I can impact more teachers teachers. And from that as well, it would look like if it really, really took off, then in terms of like the borough I work in or neighbouring boroughs, that I could then become established as the go-to person to do with leadership and well-being within education.
Hmm. So,
Go on.
what more do you think or feel or want to say about that project that may make it a big success?
So I think I know within education that there's a lot of challenges that teachers are facing because the fact that especially female teachers, if they've got families, they're juggling at home, they're juggling the commitments from home, the commitments from school, and therefore they become burnt out. They put themselves at the bottom and they get stressed out and they have challenges with relationships, challenges at work. So within themselves, they're hyper stressed. And I think from the program, I want them to learn how to be able to balance so that they can have the school life, they can have their home life, but also it's important that they need to look after themselves. And if they don't look after themselves, they're going to be no good for anybody else. So I think part of it is that self-empowerment, letting them see their self-worth. And then once they see their self-worth, then that will give them the encouragement to not just look after themselves, but then be that model to their families, the model to, staff that they're working with, because then other people will be able to see it's fine for me to put myself first. No, sleep. I think that's it for the time being.
Okay. Okay. So if you're looking at the final outcome, what more do you think or feel or want to say uh, that would create a bigger success for the project?
I think for me, it's about stepping out of my comfort zone. So, like within education, I don't have to go, like, when the day comes, the day's structured. But in this particular case now, I need to put a plan in place so that my time in terms of preparation now is more structured. So I know that, right, on this day I need to do this, and on this day I need to do this. And then at the end of the day or the end of the week, looking and see, right, okay, have I achieved what I need to achieve to reach that goal?
Hmm.
So it's like, yeah, so I think it's the structure of putting in place. And I think also one of the things I need to do to put in place is the actual, like, I have an overview in terms of what I'm going to teach over the different sessions, but it's about them fine tuning. Is there other stuff or like that I should put in there? Or like, although I have the fine tune in terms of what I'm going to do, if something else comes up, be prepared to change and go in a different direction and know that's fine. So don't be so rigid with this one that I have to cover this, this, and this. Let it flow through and see what naturally comes back. And I think also check in with the people who are there, like what are their needs? Because I might think they have certain needs, but actually they may come with different needs that I may not have thought about that could actually build into the program that we're doing. I think I'm finished now.
Okay. Oh, okay. What I want you to notice is she paused, quiet, but she's thinking. Yeah? So if you're not a coach, you're not comfortable with silence. Yeah? People will tend to jump in. So that's why I'm demonstrating that the fact that she stops doesn't mean that she's done thinking. She's still thinking. But if I jump in, I will disrupt that thinking process. So, me asking that question, what more do you think or feel or want to say? I can ask that question 10 times and she will come up with something new, but it's the same question. And from her
Mm.
end, she will not feel that it's the same question because it brings something new out of her. Yeah. So that's why I want us to do the demonstration so that it doesn't matter what she's saying. I just want you to see um, the small nuances about the process that may either derail it or make it a success. So be comfortable with silence. Yeah, when you did do this process, be very comfortable with silence because without silence, that person is still thinking. Yeah. So we're gonna continue. So, is there anything more that you think or feel or want to say? Ruth?
I don't think so at the moment. I think I'm okay with that.
Okay. All right. Fantastic. So, thank you. When she says she's okay with that, and I ask again, and she says she's okay with that, then we move to the next stage. Okay? So the ball is in her court. She's in charge. She's the thinker. Okay? So the next one is called incisive question. It's called incisive question because it goes down to the root cause of most challenges. Yeah. So the incisive question is, what are you assuming that's holding you back?
Hmm. This is an interesting question because I was reflecting this morning on the same topic, like in terms of what some of the blocks. And I think part of it is because I think it must be about five, or no, I've been back in my school about 6 years. So maybe about seven, eight, or maybe more. I attempted to do this before and it didn't take off. It didn't do what I wanted it to do. So part of the back of my mind is that assumption, well, what's different this time? What's different this time and why am I in a different headspace compared to then? So I think one of the assumptions is that it's going to turn out the same as last time. So that could be one assumption that I could think. The
Mm,
other assumption, though, is actually this time round, things are different because I've built up my credibility. I've got people who are behind me, people who are encouraging me. So it's not just me who's pushing this project along now, it's other people that can see the landscape that's happening in education. So I think part of the assumption then is why not me? Before it's like I've taught myself out of certain things. So my assumption now is that actually I could do this. Um, and I just need to believe in myself that I can do it. So instead of having that negative belief that, okay, before you didn't do it, you didn't get where you wanted to do and it's going to happen again, actually don't go down that thinking path. Turn the assumption and turn the thinking to actually you're not the same person, you've changed, you've grown. So don't make the assumption that just because you didn't do it in the past that you can't do it now.
mm,
um I think one of the other assumptions is that other people are in this space of leadership and well-being. So what's special about me in terms of what do I bring that's different, and why should then people come and want to take up my service when there's all these other services around? So the other assumption is actually the way I do things will be different than other people. Yes, like you go into a supermarket and there's loads of brands. You buy baked beans or ketchup or whatever. There's loads of different brands. It's all the same product, but the different brands and different people have different preferences. So I need to make the assumption that there'll be people outside there that will like my brand of how I do things. And I'm not going to be for everybody. So, like when you go to the supermarket, not everybody likes every particular brand, but you will pick up your favorite brand. So, I need to make sure that the people who I'm going to be able to help, I will be their favorite brand. Yeah, I think I'm okay there. I
Okay.
think I'm okay. We'll see. Yeah.
Okay. Let me just, so what Ruth just shared, so let's forget about the process for a minute. Well, what she just said about I did it before, didn't work. Yeah, that is a universal belief. Yeah, because we learn through trial and error. Yeah. So we try, we fail, we try, we fail, we try, we fail, we try, then we succeed. But the unconscious mind is recording everything. So the unconscious mind will not forget the pain, will not forget the embarrassment, will not forget the disappointment. So when you want to step forward and do something, either something new or something the same, because the subconscious mind is running the show, um, it will stop us. It's either we don't even start it, we will procrastinate. Oh, okay, I'll start tomorrow. Or then I'll start tomorrow. Or alternatively, we force ourselves to start and then we get it to a certain level and then we stop. We do not gather the reward. Yeah. So that
Hmm.
thought is not unique to her. That thought is a universal thought for most people. Some people are very lucky that their experience is about everything they do, they succeed. Everything they do, they succeed. So they follow that pattern. That's why you see some people, whatever they do, they will say, oh, they have winners mentality. It's their experience, but the challenge now is how do we organize ourselves such that limiting our experience does not create limiting assumptions for us such that we can move and do something new. Yeah. So,
Hmm.
so that's what this process is exposing now. So I just digress from the process to share that with you. It's not unique to Ruth. It applies to everyone. So, all right. So I picked out. So what are the two key assumptions? Let's pick three key assumptions that you've made. So articulate three key assumptions from what you've shared.
So I think one assumption is because I didn't succeed last time, I won't succeed this time.
Mhm.
Another assumption is that there's loads of people doing this. So
Mhm.
therefore, why should people be attracted to what I'm doing?
Mhm.
And I think the third assumption is I'm a small fish in a big pond.
Mhm.
So how are people going to find this small fish in this big pond?
Mhm. Okay. So this is also digression from the process. So she's giving us three assumptions. Yeah. We need to examine which assumption is the strongest that may be stopping her. Can we evaluate which of those three assumptions are the strongest? So if you're doing this for a partner, you actually pick or you ask the partner, you ask the thinker to pick what's the strongest assumption. Yeah. And if you think that what the partner picks, because it's the mind that creates the problem, can solve it. If you think what the partner picks is not the strongest, you can just make a suggestion. You're allowed to make a suggestion. I think this other one is a stronger limiting assumption than this one that you pick, but it's still down to the thinker to pick. Yeah, but you can make suggestion to the thinker that okay, this is stronger. So, which one do you think is this strongest of the three, Ruth?
I think the first one, that because it didn't work the first time, that it won't work the second time.
Okay, all
And
right.
that whole limiting, yeah.
Okay, okay. So now the next question, I want you to pay attention to the next question. Yeah, because now she has picked her strongest assumption. Yeah, so I'm gonna ask her to give me the opposite of that assumption. So the opposite of that assumption is the truth. Yeah? So what is
hmm
the opposite of that? I want you to articulate the opposite of that assumption. Don't overthink it, just literally the opposite of that assumption.
So the opposite will be that I will be successful this time round
Mhm.
and that I'll have a thriving business.
Sorry, say that again.
I will be successful and I will have a thriving business, and that
Okay.
the clients that need to come towards me will come towards me.
Okay. So my next question, listen to my next question. Okay. If you knew that you were going to be successful this time around and you have a thriving business, what would you do next?
Oh wow. Um, I will get on the phone and, well, actually I'll start first of all connecting with some teachers that I know and let them know that this is a program I'm doing, and why don't they come on board early instead of waiting till September, so that while we're on holiday for the next couple of weeks, come and have a head start, come and see what I'm going to be doing from September. Come give me some feedback, because as I said, I don't want to just wait till September and think this is what I need to do. So yeah, I'll be a bit more proactive, and then I'll be sharing posts on LinkedIn and sharing posts on other social medias. I'll have my website up and running so that I can share that out with others. So it'll be a very and I think also I'd have, like, when the day comes, when the week comes, so I'll sit down and think, right, okay, how many calls do I want to make? How many people do I want to contact? And then just track that and see, okay, have I actually contacted X amount of people this particular week? When someone says no, don't take it personally, because it just means, like as I was sharing before, I'm not their flavor, I'm not their brand of whatever product it is that they want. But it doesn't mean that I'm not going to do what I need to do. So yeah, I'd be very, very proactive in terms of what I'm doing, and planning like weekly goals. I want to do planning week or daily goals, weekly goals, so that come September I can sit down and think, right, okay, right, I'm ready now to do the first beta test of this.
Okay, so let's digress from the process again. When I asked that the question, if you knew you have a thriving business, if you succeed this time around, you have a thriving business, what did you notice from her?
He was smiling.
Yeah, the energy changed. Yeah, the energy changed. And if she keeps that energy, she'll be able to implement the things she just listed. Yeah. So, um, before, before, what it means is every time she wants to make a plan, there is a voice saying, it's not gonna work. You've done it before. Why are you wasting your time? Don't go, all of that is like it takes energy to combat negative beliefs, and then you don't have energy left to do what you need to do. So when you're trying to do something and then there is doubt in your mind and then there is voice in your head telling you what will not work, it takes too much energy. So you work for 1 hour, you feel like you worked for 5 hours and you're tired. But when you come with a different energy, that energy you saw from her, when I asked her that question, that energy will carry her. She will work 6 hours without knowing it. Yeah. So it's not like the process is like a spell on the person. No, it's just removing the energy sapping thoughts. And then what is left? What is left? It's good energy. It's high energy. That is what is left. I always make the analogy of bumpy road and smooth road. Um, where she was before was like driving on a bumpy road. Yeah, it will take a long time for you to get to the destination, and the journey is uncomfortable. Yeah. But the way her energy changed as I asked that question, is she grabs that energy and run with it. It's like she's running on a smoother road and she'll be able to do those things without energy sapping thoughts behind our mind. Yeah. So can we see why this process is very powerful? We've just a small snippet of it because we have limited time. So now those action plans, so those things you listed, are there other things that you want to do based on your new energy?
Oh wow. Um, I think reach out to people that I know who's within education and share what I'm doing and ask them, can they share this with people in their contacts so that it's not just me that's trying to send the messages out, that people who know me that can vouch for me and know the journey that I've been on. I suppose the key thing is collaboration now. Yeah, so collaborate with others to help me to grow this. And then eventually, I think as it grows, then there'll be other people that will come on board. So instead of me just having to deliver the program, eventually get other people to come on board and deliver some of the units and the modules because they might be better in that skill than I have. So realize, I think the key thing is that, oh God, yes, this is my baby in inverted commas, but it's not just me who has to raise it. There's like that term, it takes a village to raise a child. So I think in terms of this project, that it's going to take a village to allow this shift I want in education to be successful. And yes, I'm putting the stake in the ground, but I'll connect with others around who want the same vision as well. So yeah,
Okay.
wow,
Okay.
thinking.
Uh,
Yeah.
okay. So, as your accountability partner, you're gonna share this with me. Yeah, you're gonna make a list of these actions and share it with me. So at our next session, so I'm gonna ask you about all these things that you planned to do. Now you have no escape, right?
And it's recorded.
So you have to go do
Yeah.
it. So that's the power of it. The process
Hmm.
itself is good and is empowering. But what's even more empowering is now you know you
Mm.
have to do it. Yeah.
Hmm.
So we make a list of that. So I really salute your courage. I salute your honesty. For this short period of time we're doing this process. So thank you very much. What insight did you get from today? So we're still in the
Yeah,
process. Yeah.
me personally, that I was the one standing in the way.
Mm-hmm.
And because it hadn't worked before, I had that belief in my head that this is what's going to happen again. So I think when you said actually turn that on its head and think that opposite, and when I thought the opposite and connected with that, I thought, actually, you know what? I'm not the same as I was then. So just because it didn't work then doesn't mean it's not going to work now. So I think that was the biggest insight for me. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. There is a saying that you can't step into the same river twice because it's not the same river and it's not the same you.
Mm,
So the fact that it didn't work before doesn't, because it's a completely different environment, different you, different people, different strategies, different support. So that's the mind makes up stories.
hmm
Yeah. And it's all to keep us safe. And there is no progress in safety. So we have to take risk. We have to, but if we don't release the handbrake, it will be a struggle. We expend a lot of energy without any movement. So,
hmm
so thank you, Ruth, for being the guinea pig. uh, so now, as far as the partnership is concerned, we actually think we should pair up based on what people who do you want to pair up with? So let's give you the option.
Well, I don't know. What do people do? Does it matter in terms of people's
Business, right?
yeah, business? Does it matter?
No, not at all. Actually, the less you know about the other person's business, the
The
better.
better.
Yeah,
Okay.
because it is a process. You don't need to know about their business. It is a process to unlock their mind, to unlock the mindset that is stopping them. So if you follow the process, you can do this with anyone. Yeah. So, but the important thing is you need to have a little, not even a little bit, good harmony with the person. Yeah, because you need cooperation, you need to have harmony. If you're paired up with somebody you don't like, there's no reason why you wouldn't like somebody because you probably haven't had any encounter with them. But it's important that there is harmony between those two people. That's very important. So that's why we're giving you the chance to pick someone. Just pick someone from your gut feeling. If you can't pick someone, we'll pick for you because there are only four of you. So yeah.
I think one other question. Does that mean then when the accountability partner has a meeting with the other partner, then that means we'll have another session where another party will be accountability and the other person will be listening. Is that the way it works?
You,
Or
hmm
you, you you can do it in one session.
oh,
So,
okay.
so, so after you finish yours, you make notes, and the notes you're making is the notes of the action plan after the session. Yeah. So if you're the accountability partner, you're making note of what the partner said they're going to do because you owe them accountable for that. Yeah. And then the other way around. So vice versa. Yeah.
Okay. It's a difficult one. Anybody can choose me. I don't know. I think maybe you should do the pairing for us so that we don't know who we are going to pick. We are not that
Okay.
much.
Yeah, do a scramble. Yeah, do
Yeah,
a pick,
Okay.
put the name in a bag, and then pair us up.
exactly.
Okay, I
Okay.
can do that. That's a good idea. So nobody says,
Okay.
"Oh, it's Ayo's fault." So I'm gonna do Manish. Okay. So Manish, Omalayo, I like that idea. Janet and Ruth. Okay. So no cheating. Okay, so I'm gonna squeeze it. Okay, so I'll just pick one and I will announce what I picked, and then the next one I pick will be the partner. Okay, so I'm scrambling it. Okay, first name out of the, don't fall away. First name out of the box is Omolayo.
Yeah.
So the next one will be the partner. So, see, the mind doesn't like making decisions. That's another evidence. Can you see the evidence of what we're talking about, right? Okay, the next one is okay. Suspense, drum roll, Manish.
Diddle-diddle-diddle.
So Amalaya and Manish, so that leaves Janet and Ruth, okay?
Mhm.
And interestingly, they are both accountants. See how they gravitate towards one another. Okay. Yeah. So Ruth is the leader of the group. So she will now this you can do this. My idea. You may choose to do it that way or choose your own way. It's ideal to do it on a weekend, and then your action plan, you implement it over the week, during the week. Then you have your next session the week after to review. So it's up to you. You may do it twice in a month, you may do it once a month, but when you start to see the power of it, you rather want to do it more frequently, and you get to know the other person's even better as well. Um, and the whole purpose of this is for us not to rely on our own thinking alone, is to tap into the resources of other people and other people's thinking. So, any question?
Not at the moment. I think once we get started, then we can be there. I think one of the things I just want to say in terms of the group, that as we're doing this, if there's any questions or anything you need, either reach out to me directly. I'll put something in the group, because it might be a question that you have that other people are feeling as well. So although we're in pairs for this, we're also working together as a group of the four of us. So that's just to say. So yes, we're pairing up, but together we're holding all four of us accountable.
Yeah, and then my suggestion would be fix your this four. We may add more to you, and then those people will learn from you. And if we're gonna add, we'll add in pairs. Okay, so if we're adding in pairs, then they will pair with each other, but they will learn from you what you've learned from doing the process yourself. So that's the value of coming together as a group. So you can also compare notes at the end of the month. So ideally, if you could do this is the first week of the month, every first Tuesday of the month. And when we have our Sunday meetings, then the leader gives us feedback, what's gone on in the accountability group during the month. Not revealing people's privacy. Another thing is, please, confidentiality is very important. What people are sharing, they're sharing in confidence, and we don't want to hear about their personal stuff outside. So that brings about trust, and it allows people to be vulnerable and be transparent. Because if we're not vulnerable, we won't get to the root cause of the problem. So that's really very important. So I will leave that to Ruth to coordinate. But ideally, the best thing is to make it first Tuesday, 7 p.m. I don't have to be there, but if you need me, I can always show up. So that will be the process, and then the reporting back to the group on Sunday will be done by the leader, or the leader may nominate somebody else to do it. It's all part of leadership development. So, all right?
Mm-hmm.
So, sorry, one question. Does
Okay.
that mean, Ruth, as a group, we are meeting again?
Mhm.
Even
So
though
we
we
will
have our
meet.
peer meeting?
Yeah, so as a group,
Yeah.
so we might decide the first Tuesday of each month, the four of us will come together here. So when we come
Okay.
together as the four of us, it's to so for example, the two of you, so you and Manish are one pair. So you might come back and say, right, okay, we've done this, but this might be a challenge that we have. Not sharing what it is that you're discussing, but this is a challenge. So you'll have your pair groups, but then we'll have the four of us together as well to help support each other as well. So so in the month, the pairs will meet, and then once a month we'll eat the four of us will meet.
We'll meet.
Yeah.
Okay.
The,
That's
the, the
Yeah,
accountability partners may meet at their own convenience, doesn't?
yes.
So, but the group
yeah.
at the minimum once in a month to review what has happened and hold the whole group accountable for doing what needed to be done. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Manish, that means I'm going to need Manish's contact, won't I?
Yeah.
Yes.
And Manish should need mine as
But
well.
it's in the group. But it's in the group. The
It's in
four of
the
us
group.
already.
group,
If you look,
yes.
if you look in the group, you can see we've got each other's numbers there.
Yes.
Or we can
Yeah.
just send a message. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah. So
that
then
that
from here, sorry, go on.
yeah, go on, Ruth.
I was going to say, so from here then, Omalay and Manish, you two will decide when you two are going to meet.
Yeah.
And then myself and Janet and I will decide when we're going to meet. So the process that you just saw Aya and I go through, you and Manish will go through. So you will do that, and it should take 15 minutes each, so basically half hour of time. So you won't be like how Aya was going through and evaluating you won't be doing that when you do your session. You'll just go through the questions. So it's supposed to take 15 minutes for you, 15 minutes for Manish. So then you might decide to meet again the following week, or it might be 2 weeks that you might to meet. So you decide the frequency that you want to have that individual between the pair, but then once a month we come back together as a group and then check in, we see where everybody is in terms of what they've planned.
Okay.
That's fine.
All right. Are we good?
I believe so.
Okay. All right. I think we're good. Any question or comment?
No, it's okay. Yeah.
All right.
I
Okay.
think, personally, I think the word accountability is what the group is trying to achieve, and I think it's already showing accountability in terms of what we're going to be doing. So
Absolutely. Yeah.
Mhm.
You're well spotted, Melayo. That's the intention. So, all right. Okay, good. Hopefully in 3 months' time, we'll need a telescope to see our progress. All right. Okay. Take care, everyone.
thank you
Thank
very
Okay,
you.
much.
thank you.
Thank
Right,
you.
bye.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.